What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to talk about what narcissists do when they are exposed. I'm gonna give y'all a little story to what happened with the narc who I work with. So recently I was informed that a friend of hers, who is a really good source of supply, I know all of them. She was in a terrible car accident, but she's all right. Her car was totaled, and along with the storm and the power outages, she called the narcissist to see if she can let her stay there for a while at her house, since she got her power restored earlier than her. Now, this happened last week, but I just found this out, that the narcissist was like no call, no show. Of course, they lack empathy, so she showed a little bit of empathy towards her situation. And this person, the source of supply, does so much for this narc. She do everything for her, even without her even asking. I mean, the perfect source of supply. And of course, she's unaware that this person is a narcissist. So I tried to warn her one time. This is the same lady who she wanted to order the mask through my Amazon account. And you can't say no wrong about the narc. It's like at times she want to vent about her, but she goes right back to catering to her. You know, she remains that source of supply. So lately, she was like, I'm just done with her. I don't wash my hands of her. We're not best friends anymore. I don't even think I'll associate with her, because she really have showed me her true colors when I really could have used her help. She wouldn't even offer to let me stay with her. She knew my situation was bad along with the accident. And she was like, my food went bad, even though, like, you know, that different type of assistance and FEMA and all that will replace your food if you lost any food from the storm. But it's just the thing that you would think you have a good friend like that, which she thought she was a good friend. Like, you thinking that she's a good friend. This is how you think when you're dealing with a narc and you're unaware. You think that you have a good friend because of how much you find yourself catering to them. But notice when it comes to you expecting them to be there for you, they disappear. And that's when it get real, and that's when you finally open your eyes and start to see, dang, I've been doing everything and not getting nothing in return. So it's like she's finally realizing that, or either she's just really hurt, because sometimes a person can express, you know, how much someone has hurt them, and they go back into, you know, the timeline of the friendship or whatever, and you notice that it was never really 50-50, and they're just hurt by that for a while, and then later on down the line they're back into that position with that person. You know, they never really go no contact, because you don't really, you know, you're just not there yet, but you got a glimpse of who they are. So I've noticed that with her in the past. Can't say that it's going to change now, because it's so soon, you know, it just happened. She's just now beginning to realize that this is not something that she's done to you, you know, just for the first time. She's up and abandoned you during a time of need so many times in the past. And like, so what's the difference with now? Like with me and a narcissist, once they're exposed, it took me to go through a spiritual thing. Like, this has to do with something deeper than just, she hurt my feelings real bad. She really hurt me by not being there. I went through a spiritual awakening, and that's when I learned about, you know, the Jezebel spirit and narcissists. See, I went through something, you know. But as far as her, I don't know. You know, sometimes we go through traumatic experiences, and that's when I went through my spiritual awakening, right after a tragic event. And I know that that car accident, it really did a lot to her. I seen the pictures of the car, and she's blessed to make it out of it and live to tell about it. The narcissist has showed no signs of sympathy, empathy towards her supposed to be best friend. And so the person has claimed to wash their hands of them. Now, what do? When narcissists are exposed in that way, they go off and hide. This person told me about their phone conversation, and she was like, I called her because it just had been weighing on my heart so heavy. And imagine that. You know, you're thinking that this is not something you shouldn't even have to think about or wonder about our friendship at this time. You know what I'm going through, so I'm expecting you to extend your offerings to help me. But you don't. That's going to make me think about you as a friend. So she says she called her after a week of the lights being off, although she's been staying with her daughter. And her daughter is helping her because of the accident. You know, it's kind of difficult to move around. So she's like, my daughter, I took all my food to her house because she got her power back before me. But she was like, even though my power is back on, I'm still going to stay with my daughter because I need the help to move around. She's probably not even going to go back to work no time soon from the accident. So she was like, I called the narc and I told her, I just wanted to call and let you know that I was really expecting you to help me out as much as I do for you. I do so much for you, and I couldn't even count on you to just give me a phone call and check on me. You knew that I was in an accident. I totaled my car on top of being in the middle of a power outage after a storm, and you didn't even offer to help me in no type of way. And she was like, the phone was just silent. The narcissist didn't say a word. And then she said, are you still there? And she told her, yeah, I'm here. I understand what you're saying. And she said, I hear you. That's what she said. And I could hear her saying it, like somewhat with an attitude. I hear you. Like, I hear what you're saying. I don't know what you expect me to do. That's not my fault. It's like, that's the attitude they have. And it's not her fault that she was in an accident. I mean, that's the logic that the narc going to go on. She's mad at me because she was in an accident. See, that's the false narrative that she's creating right now to put out there as a defense method to people who may confront her now that she's exposed. So this person just been singing, running her mouth and telling so many people, including myself, you were right. She's no good. She's nobody's friend. And I'm like, yeah, but you can preach about it until you're blue in the face. A person not really going to pick up on it until it really hits their spirit. Like, this goes far beyond your feelings. Feelings come and go. Hurt and pain dealing with a narcissist depending on a situation. But with this narc, it's like it's coming from a friendship level. I'm expecting you to be there and you weren't there for me, so she's speaking on that type of pain and disappointment, and so it's just like she's just been telling everybody that she's just not a friend. Like, it really been weighing down on her. And it's like she's venting to everyone about the narc who I have spoke about so much on this channel, who I work with. And so, like I say, what you can expect from them is for them to just go ghost mode. They might disappear for a while, and the reason why the narcissist can't be there for you is because they just don't feel like that's their duty. Their duty is only to pretend to be there for you during a certain stage, and they use tactics. But at the moment they don't have it in them, they're not going to do anything different. It's like you just cannot expect nothing different out of them. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care that it's hurting you, that they are not there for you. They don't care about nothing like that. They're going to show you this false side of them when it benefits them the most, which is during the love bombing stage or hoovering. Now, another thing you can expect from them, okay, so now they're at this period, and I'm just calling it this because it just happened, so I can't say, oh, she just washed her hands of her, she's done. Even though she's saying this, I've seen it time and time again, time will tell. But should she, like, open the doors of friendship again to the narc, it'll be after a while. It'll be after a while. The narcissist will come to her, but she's not going to come to her in person. She's going to take the easy way out and text her, and she's going to text her and apologize for not being there for, I just want to apologize, for not calling you and checking on you. And she's just going to leave it as simple as that. And a person, with that trauma bond, they're missing that friendship that they thought they had. It's not a friendship, it's a trauma bond. You're missing that connection you had with this person, which wasn't really a connection. You were just supply. You were a really, really good source of supply. And with the type of heart that this person has, she enjoys doing things for people, but it's just like she found herself doing the absolute most for the narcissist. And it's hard to detach from something like that with a person who you really don't really know, the true, colors of their character. You don't really know who you're dealing with. Again, she's just looking at it from a friendship point. You haven't been there for me. You're just that type of person. She might be like, okay, well, I can know now that, I know now that I can't depend on you, but we can still be friends. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to go like that because everybody is telling her the same thing. Oh, you're going to go back to her. You're going to be right back in her company. You're going to be doing this and that for her again. You're not just going to let it go. You're just hurt right now. So you see, she really don't understand that this is just a character. This is not just a regular character trait from a normal person who doesn't realize, that they can change some things about themselves if they really want to. You're dealing with a narcissist, and it's not going to change. Again, it's just a repeated pattern that they use. Sooner or later, she going to come back to her. That's what narcs do. That's what you can expect. Once they are exposed, she's just hiding out. She letting the smoke clear before she appears again to be that friend that realizes I wasn't that good friend when you needed me. But she's going to say, I'm sorry you felt that way, and I should have called, but I don't know. I just had so much going on. She gonna come up with something, and this person is gonna fall for it, and she gonna let her back in. That's what normally happens. Or if a person is completely done with the narc, what you could expect is a whole lot of backlash and punishment. I know that. I've been through it, go through it with her at work, and that's just how they operate, and we talked about that enough. um I just really hope that she's really done with her for good, because she had sucked that woman dry, and when that woman really needed her, she wasn't there. But that's not a surprise. That's how they operate. um but what you'll really notice about the narc is how quiet they become, how they disappear once they are exposed. That's the thing that frightens them the most. That's what they are most scared of. They do not want to be exposed. They don't want people to talk behind their back in a negative way. Because mind you, they put that false character narrative out there to make it seem like they're such good people and they care so much. But then when all of that is put to a test, they fail all the time. They disappear. And even if they are there sometimes, it's because they can benefit off of it. So I forgot to mention that this person is her ride or die buddy on the road. Like, she is there to take her grocery shopping, to go visit her mom, to borrow money from her mama, to get around town, because she just totally abandoned her car earlier this year. So she don't have a car anymore. So she depend on this person. And another thing, a reason that, the narc will disappear, because you got to look at what benefits she was, reaping off of the supply, the transportation. If she was in a car wreck and she totaled the car, you're no good to her anymore. She don't care about you anymore. She didn't care about you then. She really don't care about you now. And now you're going to see it. When she picked up a couple of items for you from the store, when she just so happened to be in the store, that's to keep that supply coming. But she gonna always give you the very, very bare minimum. She's not gonna do the absolute most for you that you deserve, as a good friend and confidant, and as someone who's always been there. That's how they operate. And so now you're gonna see that. It's just like during that time when I had that nervous breakdown and I was calling her, and that will also do something to you internally. It will really mess with you, because it'll have you wondering, like, who do I have if I don't have the narc? But the whole while, you really didn't have the narc. They were just in your company. You were more benefit to them than they are to you. And so now you don't have anything to offer them. They can't catch that ride with you every day. When you call them to tell them about what's going on with you, don't expect them to extend, any type of help to you, even if they are able to help. Of course, she could have let her brought her food over, to salvage anything that she can after the storm to keep the food from spoiling. She could have brought it over to her and put it in her deep freezer or in her regular refrigerator freezer. She could have let her come over for a while in the daytime to just be under some cool air, or get a hot bath or something like that. Because she was like, I didn't want to stay there. I just wanted to be somewhere. It's just like, you shouldn't even have to explain it. That's an automatic, you just know already. When you've gone through something, you just need to relax, and it's just like, the narc knows all this. She don't care. See, she have all that set aside for her, because she could always run to her mom or her aunt for that. And, she used them for money. She benefit off her family for money and stuff like that. She benefit off other people for anything else that they can offer her. And she will suck you dry. She will never turn you down. That's why I was like, they will never, ever really let go. If it's a situation where it's out of sight, out of mind, you can just pretty much just, call it for what it is. It is what it is at that moment. But once you back, in their presence, if you have to work with a narcissist, you're going to deal with the narc abuse. And when you're away from work, you don't have to. She can pretty much count on, oh, I'll be back to work tomorrow or next week sometime. So she don't have to bother me when I'm not there. Now, if if you're not at work or you don't work with them anymore, she gonna keep that false narrative going to smear you. That's how they operate. And so, that's why she just had to, but That's what you can expect out of a narc. You know, once they're exposed, you can expect them to disappear on you because now you don't have nothing to offer them. And it's sad that the person is just now, you know, they've gone through something traumatic to realize it. But I kind of feel like she's still going to give her a second chance because, you know, that's just how it is sometimes. I gave her a lot of chances. And my breaking point was, again, when I went through that nervous breakdown. And she's like the first person I really went to vent to, and to cry to about, I don't know what was going on with me. And it was just like she just was not there. They do that. They just hold the phone. It's just silence. And you actually have to, you know, like ask them, can you be here for me? Which you shouldn't have to, because you do so much for them. But you finally get to realize and just lay everything out, and just kind of weigh things and see like how much more you were doing for them than they were doing for you, you know. So that's all I want to talk about in this video, you know, what to expect from a narc once they are exposed. So thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below, and I'll talk to you soon.